Welcome to Comics, Comics, and Pizza. Today we'll be reviewing New Avengers, issue 21.
Guardians of the Galaxy issue 17.
And the smash hit of the summer, Guardians of the Galaxy. Welcome back. It has been a long time. So much has happened. Comic-Con, people screaming, footage of Batman, Superman, and then everything else, because nothing else matters. Because it was footage of Batman and Superman staring at each other at an angle.
Stealing the show.
Completely. 1 minute, not even a full minute of that, beat all the other footage. 4 minutes of Avengers 2. Everyone's talking about Batman and Superman, which Marvel should really be looking at. But that's a rant for another day, probably tomorrow. Okay, so it has been a very exciting week for comics, and we want to talk about New Avengers issue 21. Now, if you're not reading New Avengers, a lot has been going on. So much that you should probably be reading New Avengers right now. It's really, really good. First off, there's a thing called incursions happening in the universe, where two parallel Earths will hit each other. And then both universes collapse and die.
Yeah. So they're trying to stop that from happening, naturally.
It's a good thing.
But if they can kill one Earth, then everything's fine.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the moral dilemma that they're working with right now.
Everything's fine except for that Earth they killed.
Except for that, they just destroy one planet, but they save two whole universes.
Exactly. So, give and take.
Más o menos.
What she said, but in English, it's hard. But up until this point, every time they destroy a planet, it was good. It was either the planet was empty, it was already almost dead, someone did it for them. They never had to really push that emotional and moral boundary of themselves. But this time, in this issue, they had to. They are fighting the parallel universe version of the Justice League, basically. More or less. That's what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange going pretty crazy because the fight's getting pretty intense. And he basically murders the entire Justice League.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does.
Justice League.
Yes. So he makes that decision to do that. And then they say, okay, there's 10 minutes left. We gotta make a decision. Either find a way to stop the incursion, which they've been trying to do for the past 20 issues.
Spoilers, they don't.
They don't.
They don't find a way.
There's no way. There's just no way. So, it's time to pull the trigger. A long time ago, they made a bomb that can destroy an entire planet. They know they shouldn't have, but they also know
they needed it. They figured they would need it.
And now's the time they need it. Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna press the button? Or open the thing that makes a bomb go off for some reason?
We'll just say push the button.
Push the button. Push the button.
To make it simple for you guys, push the button.
Push the button. Hickman does not make it simple for anyone.
No.
Especially his characters or the readers.
It's not easy for anybody.
No. So first off, we have Tony Stark. I got it.
No. Can't do it.
Not a good thing. It's not fun to do.
No. Feels weird in my tummy. Don't want to do it.
Gobble up people. Kill people. Alright, next up, Black Panther. Alright.
Grabs it, says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for my ancestors and for my home.
Who seem to be behind him all the time. All the former Black Panthers, including his father, are always around him as ghosts. Like, do it.
And then he's like, oh, you're right. Moral dilemma. Oh.
And his dad's like, stop being a pussy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do it, son.
Pretty much.
And he's like,
or we'll disown you as ghosts.
Yeah, because that matters when a ghost disowns you. So, he's having issues talking to dead people. Which I actually personally hope that the other group members can't see the dead people, so they think he's just crazy.
I'm sure they can't.
They think he's crazy.
I'm sure they all have a nice conversation about that after all of this happens.
It's very inconvenient.
Yeah.
So finally, what happens? Who pulled the trigger in this Illuminati? Not the Avengers, Illuminati. Who do you think? Who doesn't give a shit about anything except what to do, which benefits him? And that's one man, Mr. Namor. He doesn't care. He says, all right, guys, give it to me. I'm going to do it. And that's what he does.
And he does it.
He destroys a planet. He destroyed an entire Earth full of billions of innocent people. Because,
probably innocent people.
Most likely innocent people.
Yeah, I'm sure there were some.
He basically destroyed the DC universe. So Jeff Johns is very, very unhappy with this issue, probably. Which is fine. Whatever.
So when you have a tough decision to make,
give it to Namor.
Just give it to Namor.
He'll do it. He'll make tough decisions.
Yeah.
I personally don't like that. Now I feel everyone's gonna be like, "Ugh, Namor, you're an asshole."
Yeah.
You already see it coming. The Illuminati are gonna say stuff like, "Well, you did this wrong and war crime and blah, blah, blah." But they were all ready to do
Cap's gonna blame everybody for being not as moral as he is.
Yeah, Cap's gonna be mad because Cap's finding out in the Avengers book what's going on. Also, if you're not reading Avengers and New Avengers together, you're gonna be very confused.
Understand.
Yeah, it's like if you read Infinity and weren't reading the Avengers books, there's a reason you didn't like Infinity, which doesn't make sense. So it was a very, very good issue. It showed them finally having to make that tough decision of do we destroy a planet to save, do we kill billions to save trillions, which I think Mr. Fantastic actually said in the book. So it's tough. And if you buy it this week, get ready. The next issue comes out the following week. They want you to read like a movie. Like, get ready. So that's good. So if I had to rate this for this particular issue, go 5 stars.
Maybe like 4, maybe and a half. Just for that end thing. Yeah. Like, if you say, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to blow up the planet. I'm going to take responsibility. And then 2 seconds later, you're like, ooh, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, one of you's going to do it.
It's the moral dilemma. And I love that. I love that this is kind of the payoff. Like, these guys are doing something that is, in a way, evil. It is. But you have to do it. And also, if you're a Maximus fan, oh, God. Maximus, look at that face.
It.
He's macking it with Black Swan. He's trying to, and Black Swan is not happening.
I don't think anybody knows what's going on.
No,
that.
I don't think Maximus knows what's going on with himself. He seems to be just kind of off on his own thing. So
interested to see what happens with that.
Yeah, we don't know what he's planning, but if you're reading New Avengers and Avengers, I think it's going to have a very satisfying ending because it will be ending, I think, within this following year. So I'm happy with it so far. It's a great book. Reading all the Avenger books together definitely helps. And if you're not, if you just want to read this book by itself, go for it. But don't read Avengers and not read this. Yeah. It won't make any sense. Okay, next up we have Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 17. It's a good issue. It's alright. It's the gang getting back together. Before this issue, there was a lot of separation because every other race was kind of just picking apart the team.
Because the douchebag dad...
Someone's dad.
Sold them all out.
Yeah. So now it's them getting back together to see where their friends are. It's Star-Lord and Captain Marvel trying to find everyone, what happened, and it's Drax fighting Gladiator, which was fun. And a lot like the movie, he gets beat immediately. It's kind of becoming a joke now.
Yeah. You'd think he'd be better at fighting.
He is with lackeys, just not big bosses. But for some reason, I think if, like, Star-Lord was fighting Gladiator, he'd find a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whatever. So, what do you think of the issue?
Secondary character.
Exactly.
I thought the story was pretty good. You know, they're all getting back together, and that's nice. Since it is the Guardians of the Galaxy. They should all be there.
Yes.
My biggest problem with the book is the art, which was really very nice, typical art style in the beginning, right? They look like people. They're great. And then halfway through, it turns into, like, really, really bad, super comic-y type art. Like,
over the top.
Did you just give up? What happened? It was really nice in the beginning.
There is one very nice splash page.
And she has like a kind of faux hawk
for some
thing.
reason.
I didn't even think her hair was that long.
It never was.
I don't know.
Never was.
I don't know. Anyway, that's my problem with the book. The art.
Yeah, the story's fine. Like, if you've been reading it, it's just a continuation.
Yeah.
Where it's going, I'm not sure. For some reason, Venom was like, oh, they're talking about me.
Yeah.
I didn't get why he did that.
Yeah. He was looking for them before, and now that he found them, he's like, I don't want to talk to those guys.
Yeah, it was very... It didn't show the motivation behind that. I thought that was very, very weird. But,
was that the only time they showed him at all?
In this issue, yes. That was the only time they showed him.
So at the end,
Venom's
then he decided he didn't want to go back to Earth.
And the rest of the group was like, we have to go because we're still being hunted down. So, you know, it was a good issue. Nice spread page.
The new mural for my bedroom wall. These two badass chicks fighting. Or not fighting.
Not fighting.
Everyone.
They killed everyone already. And they're a very fun team. I'm kind of sad to see that Angela is going to be... I mean, it's good she's got her own book, and she's going to be in Avengers and Thor, and that's cool.
But we'll miss her in Guardians of the Galaxy.
She's really fun in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Her and Gamora have the best back and forth.
Such biffles.
Yeah, it really is nice.
So wonderful.
So for an average issue, 3 stars. You know, nothing bad about it. Just a very average issue. You know, waiting for the next one. Next issue, I'm actually very, very excited about because if you've read the Cosmic Universe things, we finally get answers. What happened in the Cancerverse? If you read the Thanos Imperative, Nova, Star-Lord, died taking down Thanos in the Cancer Universe. Then Marvel Now happens, and Thanos and Star-Lord are alive doing stuff.
Where's
and no
Nova?
one talked about it.
Hopefully we'll find out.
Yes. It seems like it's a secret that Thanos and Star-Lord are hiding. Which you think, why would Thanos even care to hide anything? It's like, what, people are going to look at him badly?
They might get a bad impression.
Yeah, they might get a bad impression of Thanos. You know, it seems very weird that no one's talking about it. And at first I thought, like, are you guys just really going to brush over the fact that these characters already died? You're just going to bring them back like nothing ever happened, which they do sometimes. It seems like there actually is a secret going on. And thanks to Original Sin, where everyone's secret's coming out, this is going to be one of those secrets that next month I've been waiting for a long time for. So I'm very excited for that. So, yeah, it's a good issue. Average, 3 stars.
I can agree with that.
If you're reading it, keep reading it. Okay, so there were a lot of movies this summer. Captain America 2, which I personally loved. Spider-Man 2, which I liked quite a bit, even though I didn't like the first one. Days of Future Past, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very good for just the franchise in general and just a fun movie. And now we have the risky one, Guardians of the Galaxy. Something 3 years ago, most of you probably didn't even know what the hell it was, which is fine. I was that one guy in the comic store going, read this. No one looked at me for more than that reason, but it's fine. It's fine. That's a whole other issue. It's a whole other issue. But it came out this week. We saw it on a Wednesday at a little preview screening because we're special and exclusive and we have VIP press passes. No, we don't. But
not VIP.
Not VIP.
But we did win a sweet t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. I won the t-shirt. It didn't fit me. Now she has it. But now I'm wearing this awesome brand new Doctor Who t-shirt with the new Doctor. So that's pretty cool. So I win either way, I guess. Now, back to the movie. It was, right from the get-go, before we get into spoilers, it was fantastic. You don't have to be into the other movies to get this, because it's not like the other movies. It's not a superhero movie, per se. It's its own...
It's just a regular hero movie.
Yeah, it's like, if you like Firefly, you should definitely like this. Yeah. If you like Farscape, you will love this. Yeah. This is Farscape rebooted in a movie form.
It's great.
It's fantastic. Acting was fun. The storyline was fun. Special effects were awesome. I really felt like they built this universe in the funnest way possible. Mm-hmm. And you can tell there's a lot of passion behind it. Now, the movie critic in me says the beginning was a bit choppy, just editing scene-wise. But also, they have to get a lot of information out about these characters in a very short time. Imagine doing the Avengers without all the movies before that. It's going to be very hard to give every detail about these characters.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job, though.
Yeah. I mean, every character can be fleshed out more, absolutely. But they gave you what you needed to know for that movie. I can definitely explore way more into it. And they did a lot of very subtle things in the movie about with certain characters when they kind of express their emotions. I liked it a lot. So, before we get into spoilers, I'm going 5 stars.
5 stars!
5. This is actually, not.
And Spirit Fingers.
And Spirit Fingers. It's 20 stars. 20 stars.
20 stars.
And from the reactions getting from people online, which I'm very surprised about, people I know who always like to bitch and complain about something in a movie. All the time. Something's wrong. Oh, that was wrong. And, Superman cracked his neck and all this stuff. No one's complaining about this. People are saying it's the best Marvel movie ever. You know why? Because it's fresh.
It is.
I'm not saying because it is. I don't think it's the best one. I think it's top 3, though. I personally think it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America 2, Avengers. But just from a film basis. But this is, I would say, possibly the funnest one, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very funny, and not in a bad way. The problem with Thor 2, a lot of jokes fell flat. A lot of Marvel movies in general, the jokes kind of fall flat. They're in an inappropriate time period in the movie. But with Guardians, it just feels natural, and it's just a very funny movie. And they changed the origin of a few characters here and there, but for the better, I think. And anything that surprised me in the movie was just welcomed. Everything about the movie was just welcomed and awesome and fun. The reaction's awesome. I feel happy for people who dedicate themselves to the project because it's very risky. It's a very risky project to do. Out of all the Marvel properties they have, if someone said Guardians of the Galaxy, and probably everyone laughed at him. He's like, no, trust me, and then he pushed it, and it happened. Thankfully for James Gunn, who I thought was an okay director. He did Slither and kind of goofy movies like that. I was kind of a little iffy about him directing it, but he did a good job. He did a great job. I can't wait for number 2. You know, what'd you think?
I thought it was wonderful. Yeah, fun, exciting, action-packed. I mean, my 2 parents both enjoyed it.
Who don't know anything about
no idea
movies.
Anything that's going on. So you know that it's good. If they can like it, then...
If 2 older people who don't care about sci-fi things... That's a pretty good sign, you know. That means they found a way to make, which is very hard. They found a way to make the comic book crowd happy and the average people happy. That's very hard with comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people feel I don't get this character, or they feel like I don't want to see the movie because I haven't watched the movie before that. I didn't watch Phase 1 and 2. This movie, you don't have to watch anything before it.
Mm-hmm.
It's its own entity right now. Even the
you
end
don't
credit
have to know
scene.
Anything about anything in order to understand.
Even the end credit scene has nothing to do with the rest of the universe whatsoever. At all. I mean, there's definitely Easter eggs in the movie itself that if you read the cosmic books, you're like, oh, I see they're doing that, or oh, they're going there with that. But you know what? It's just a fun ride. So, into spoilers, details about this movie. I think my favorite aspect of the movie, for some reason, might just be Thanos, because he looks so awesome. If you want to see a live-action Thanos, you finally have it. He looks awesome. Josh Brolin is playing Thanos, and it's actually motion capture, and you can tell when you really look at him. And I feel like they really captured, even though he's only like in 2 or 3 scenes, they really captured Thanos as like his aura of like, I am the best, and you should know that. Mm-hmm. And I really thought it was really cool. The weakest point probably might have been, which Marvel movies tend to do, is the villains. They don't really know how to develop villains that much. I mean, the only villain they develop is Loki, who's kind of now so cool, he's not a villain.
Not really a villain, but is.
Isn't it? Yeah, but he's so cool and everyone loves him. But, like, think about the last few Marvel villains in the movies. Who do you actually remember? If you're an average fan, name the bad guy from Thor 2. If you can say his name, then fine, but I doubt you can. That's the problem, you know. Like Red Skull, I think before Loki, I think Red Skull was the best used. But even what happened at the end of Captain America 1? He disappeared. He got sucked into the cosmic cube, or I guess possibly the space gem. But yes, and we do get more details about the Infinity Gems, which is good because if you're a fan of the comic books, you know exactly where it's going. You know this is all going to lead to Avengers 3, Infinity Gauntlet, and that's going to be awesome. Every geek just in their pants when they see that. They can't wait. But the problem is, they try explaining it in Thor 2 and this movie. I feel like it's so important, they kind of brush over it. Like in Thor 2, it was Odin talking about it in the book.
They did a good job of explaining what it was.
In this movie, yeah.
As much as you needed to know about it.
Yeah. And we kind of saw what the gems were, because there was like this kind of holographic image of the gems and what they were now. So we saw what they call the Tesseract, or as we know, the Cosmic Cube, which is also going to be the space gem, I'm assuming. They haven't said which gem is which. And we see the purple gem right now in Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't remember which one's the purple one particularly. I can't remember. And the power gem, which was the one in Thor 2. And I'm assuming the mind gem, which is Loki's staff. So that's 4 down right there. The orange one is time. I remember that. Mm-hmm. And there's a green one. I can't remember what the green one is. Soul. The green one's a soul gem. So the only one I can't remember is the purple one. So that's fantastic. But, so you have 2 more gems. And I'd be interested to see how they use the time gem and the soul gem. So acting, awesome. Mm-hmm. And when I say awesome, I don't mean like it's some kind of Martin Scorsese like epic Leonardo DiCaprio acting. No, but
You're
it's
not winning any awards for
no,
this.
but it's appropriate to the movie.
Yeah.
You know, you have a pro wrestler in Dave Bautista being Drax, and he pulled off good. He was funny. He was what he had to be, buff guy who was angry and stuff. It's a little ridiculous that he had all this like anger and like I'm the baddest badass in the universe, but every scene he fought, he got beat up. He immediately got beat up. Yeah, he got beat up immediately.
I thought about that right after the movie, and I was thinking the same exact thing. Every time you see him fight, he's supposed to be the destroyer, and he gets his ass kicked. But also, he was fighting Ronan.
Yeah,
and you don't see him fight like schmoes that often.
Yeah, he fought a few like guards here and there and beat him up. Yeah, he can beat him up, and he ripped apart like a machine.
I just thought that in particular was kind of funny that he almost died.
Oh my god!
It's like, okay.
Yeah, and Gamora was done very nicely. She's not exactly what she was in the comic books, but neither was Drax. Drax was not a saxophone player from Earth like he was in the comic books.
They might put that in the sequel.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
But in this one, I think he's just supposed to be part of a race of people that take things way too literal. And Peter Quill, Star-Lord, or Chris Pratt, was perfect casting. Mm-hmm. Who, in fact, they didn't want him for the role until he auditioned for it and said, "You are perfect," which I get now. Yeah. He has the comedic timing down because of Parks and Recreation, which you should be watching. It's a hilarious show. And he pulled off everything in the movie just fine. Mm-hmm. He knows how to be the action hero and the funny guy, and he can balance it out appropriately. And the soundtrack in this movie is awesome.
Amazing.
Best soundtrack.
And the best part is, you probably have all of the songs already.
Yeah.
So you could just make a playlist, and there's the soundtrack.
Shockingly, this movie is actually already on its way to making more than Captain America 2. That's how much the buzz matters for this movie. Captain America 2 made $91 million, which is very good. This one might make $97 million. So that's like, and they already guaranteed a sequel this year at Comic-Con, I think in 2 years. So I won't be surprised if they push it a little more closer because people really love this movie. I see why. It does have an aspect of what you used to watch when you were younger. It does have that adventure feel again. Not a lot of just overly complicated or dark or anything. It's just fun. It's a fun adventure. I want to see it again in IMAX this time other than just 3D. Everything about it was just good. Like, there's no real downsides, like, when you really break it down. If you know anyone nitpicking about it, shoot them.
I have a nitpick. Don't shoot me.
Okay, that's a nitpick.
So, when they, spoiler, and they end up on Yondu's ship, and they're wearing whatever they're wearing, clothes or something. The next scene, they're, like, getting ready to go fight someone. And
don't spoil it. Don't fight Ronan.
Okay, as far as I can tell, everyone on the ship is a dude.
Yeah.
And they all wear those red jackets.
Yeah.
But somehow...
Also, if you paint those jackets black, you have the same clothes from Farscape.
Strap.
Yes, you have the same clothes from Farscape. Just saying.
Okay, so Gamora changes, and she has all these, like, fitted girly clothes.
Well, maybe they had girl pirates at that
Where
time.
did those clothes come from?
At one time, there was a midget, a little person. So, Rocket found his clothes. And at one point, there was a girl pirate. I can believe it was a girl pirate. They probably killed her, though.
They probably, yeah.
Ate her,
yeah. So, that's the best nitpick that I can do.
There you go.
Where does her wardrobe change come from?
If that's your biggest problem, then it's fine.
I need to know these things for when I become a space pirate.
Yes. So, yes, everything in the movie was fantastic. A little mystery, even for comic book fans, because it seems like who we know Star-Lord's dad isn't going to be his dad in the movie universe. I am suspecting it's going to be Inhuman, possibly Black Bolt.
That would be nice.
That would be very nice. But from what they're speculating, it doesn't seem like it's going to be his dad in the comic book right now, Jason. I forgot what planet he's from.
Doesn't matter.
But if they were using him, he's a very well-known figure in the universe. So they checked Star-Lord's blood at one point in the movie.
Spoiler.
This is all spoiler right now. I already warned them.
Spoilers.
It's fine. They checked his blood and said half of you is not human, which the mother kind of alluded to in the very beginning of the movie.
Which we all knew.
Yes, if you know. And I'm thinking, because they don't know the race the blood came from.
Yeah, they said they didn't recognize it,
yes.
So...
Possibly Inhuman.
Oh, no.
And possibly if they're going really hardcore comic book fans, the mother said your dad was made out of pure light. The only character I think of right away that's made out of light, when you first see him at least, is Quasar. So that could be very interesting. Quasar and possibly Adam Warlock, but I doubt it. So someone very epic like that, if they're keeping it a secret, from what James Gunn said, only him and Kevin Feige actually know who the dad is. And the actor who played Yondu, just because he asked. And I guess they're friends because he's usually in James Gunn movies, so that's fine. So only 3 people actually know who the dad's going to be, which means it's not going to be the guy we normally see, Jason, who is a prick, so I'm happy. Kind of happy he's not. He's really a prick. Like, if you don't know the story, he got the mom knocked up, stayed there for like months, and when he found out she was pregnant, fixing his ship, and then like, oh, you're pregnant? Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
right
my
after
ship,
that announcement,
my ship is
oh my
not
gosh,
working.
I have to leave. Something suddenly came up.
Yeah, really, really, guy.
Convenient timing.
Yeah. Oh, can I come with you? No, there's a space war.
It's too dangerous.
There's a space war. You can't go. So, Jason, you're such a prick. They didn't want you in the movie.
Douche.
It's pretty bad. Okay, that's our review of Guardians of the Galaxy. 5 stars. All right. Fantastic. If you have not seen it, I don't know why you let us spoil half the movie for you, but if you haven't seen it, go. So, we have a new segment for you guys, just for you guys. It's called Cold Pizza. Stuff we're going to read eventually. We'll get to it, just not right now. We're full on all the weekly stuff, you know. Gotta give it time.
We'll eat it tomorrow. It's fine.
Eventually. And for me, Cold Pizza, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. They just reprinted a trade of 2 trades, technically, in one, from when Guardians of the Galaxy was restarted back in 2008, I want to say. When they actually made this team of Star-Lord, Rocket, Drax, Gamora, Groot, and all those people. And it's very, very good so far. I'm like a quarter way through with it. If you really want to get a good grasp of the whole entire cosmic universe, start with Annihilation. If you can find the first trade.
Find it.
Because they don't print it anymore. It's very frustrating how they don't print out the first trade anymore. So I kind of end up
There's
going
an
with
Ultimate
this.
Edition you can get that has all 3.
All 3 trades.
$100.
120 almost, yeah.
So what you would pay for the first book, you could have all 3.
Yeah, so it balances out, not really. So I got this. I said, you know what? For $35, I got this instead. So it's very good so far. I like it. It's something everyone should read if you love Guardians of the Galaxy and maybe you already read the Marvel Now stuff, which is good. Pick up this. You'll fall into it. If you don't know a character, look it up or just go with the flow.
Just buy it and read it.
Just buy and read it. And also I have Hulk, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This, I read the first issue a while back and liked it right away. It was a very different feel with the Hulk. It was him saying, I want to be a scientist again. I'm accepting the fact that I'm not going to be cured anytime soon. I'm dealing with it. So what S.H.I.E.L.D. can do is finance my science stuff, and when they need me, I'll be the Hulk. Aim me in the right direction, because eventually I'm going to go green, and that's just a fact. So I like it's him accepting the fact that eventually I'm going to become the Hulk. I'm not going to fight it anymore, but you can aim me in the right direction. And it's kind of him putting responsibility on someone else, because he wants to. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore. So I read the first issue, very good. So I got this issue at my local comic book store, Docking Bay 94, and here we go. Those are my cold pizza picks that I'm going to get to eventually. Also, I will eventually start reading Sandman, because everyone tells me to read Sandman. Someone. Who's everyone?
Someone in particular
says, read Sandman!
Keeps poking you about reading Sandman.
And I
you
say,
should.
And I say, read Preacher. So we'll see when these 2 things happen.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a cold pizza sit down.
About Preacher and Sandman.
Cold pizza western. And we'll sit down. It's a thing.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing. But, you know, we can talk about 2 books that have been out for about 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
We're up-to-date kids. Awesome.
And we're with it and
what
hip.
About you?
Well, I have here the new 52 Futures End. This
weekly.
Is the weekly. This is a special edition, number 0.
Yes.
So eventually, I'm going to get caught up with all of that. Plus,
It's Batman
Eternal. I will also get
weeklies are hard to keep up with.
On.
They are very hard to keep up with. I don't fully appreciate weeklies. I mean, if it was bi-weekly, it'd be much easier. But weekly is like, next thing you know, you're stacked
Maybe
up.
Maybe like a monthly book would be nice.
Yeah. It stacks up. Like, I get the reasoning behind it. Batman sells. So they make a weekly of Batman. And they want to do stuff with it. Batman, I get. Future's End. I stayed away from it for a while, but I started reading the first few issues. It was good. It was entertaining, and I want to know what happens in this. This is 5 years in the future of the DC universe currently.
What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but I'm gonna find out.
You'll find out. And coming soon, one I'm actually very excited about, the Earth 2 Weekly. That I've been pushing for some time. The Earth 2 Weekly should be very, very good, especially with the team I see writing it.
Indeed. So I also have here issue 1 of 8 of Bodies, which was sold to us last week by our reviewers.
Our regular group of comic book friends.
Said that it was very intriguing and that we should give it a try.
And it is. I mean, we didn't read it yet, but from what we can tell, it is very interesting. A murder apparently happens every few years.
Throughout time.
Yeah, throughout time. The past, the present, and the future.
But apparently it's the same body?
Yes. Exact same body being murdered.
I'm intrigued.
In England. So
we'll find out what that's all about.
Yes.
And I also have a couple trades of New Avengers.
Yes.
No,
not New Avengers.
Sorry, just Avengers.
Not just Avengers. She's gonna
Special Avengers.
Not
Uncanny.
Special. There
Avengers.
you go. That's how into it she is. She's
Yes.
reading. She's catching up on Uncanny Avengers before the new event happens. Access, which
Right.
brings Uncanny and Captain America, Rick Remander's run on both of them
I
together.
just started reading it yesterday, so whatever.
She can't remember the name.
And I can't remember the name.
She just saw it yesterday.
That's
and
how
she
excited
can't
I am
remember the
about
name.
it.
But it's a very
Truly,
good book.
though, it was a very good book, and I am excited to see it. If I could just remember what it was called or what it's about.
Okay, that's the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys really missed us, and we're here. We're going to try and be a little more consistent with the videos again. Probably not. It just depends how you feel about the movie.
We do our best.
Please like and subscribe to our page. Please spread it out to your friends. You know, just say, hey, this is a funny show. These two people are interesting to watch, kind of a little bit. And also, on the bottom is a link for a page called Kings of the West on Facebook. If you have a Facebook, which I'm sure you do because you're a human, like that page. It's for a comic book. My comic book that is very good. Hopefully it will be done very soon.
Yeah,
so,
best book that I haven't read.
And tell
It's gonna
Marvel
be
and
really
DC,
good when
Nick
it
is
comes
awesome.
out.
Just randomly tweet Marvel and DC. Nick is amazing. And they'll be like, who's Nick? And I'll be like, I'm Nick. Like that, with a picture of me. Like this, with
in a fake
fireplace.
turtleneck.
Fake turtleneck and a fireplace. So that'll be good. All right, thanks for watching. Please comment respectfully and have a fun day.